at some point.
Well, let me get a
which is
preliminary question in on Andor. Is Andor basically these people are trapped on a prison? Basically, they're prisoners and they're trapped on whatever.
no. It's
But they're
his
not
That's a
background.
tiny faction of that.
Well, no,
Andor is the birth of the rebellion.
Exactly.
Okay.
Before the Andor show, there was no rebellion. It was just the peak of Imperial
This is what I thought was
control.
going on. I thought it was like a planet that didn't know that the Empire had lost, and the people in charge of it were just still running it like the Empire was still going on. Okay, no, nothing like that.
No.
Even though there's plenty of those.
4. Do you remember the Bothan spies that died in Rogue
Mm-hmm.
One? Andor's the prelude to Rogue One. You remember in episode 4, Mon Mothma says several Bothan spies died getting these plans. That's the plot of Rogue One, is the Bothan spies, right? But the original spy network that the Bothan spies come from, that started the rebellion, that really is what Andor is.
Hey, welcome everyone. As always, in Geeked and Jacked, I am your friendly neighborhood host, Gonzo, Gonzalo Herrero, joined by Josh, the master of disaster Uber Troll, man on a mission, because he has a mission we were talking about earlier, which maybe we'll talk about. You never know what you're going to get on this podcast. And of course, the one, the only, often imitated on social media, but absolutely never duplicated, Todd motherfucking Lee, the doctor. Hey, what's up, man? I'm getting good at these intros, man.
Yes, you are.
Just so how's it going, guys? How was your week? Everything cool? Yes, no, maybe.
Busy week.
I had a birthday. I'm 55. I'm an old MRFer.
You're already old. You're just older now.
Yeah, older. But, like we were saying, we were talking a little bit off camera that thankfully, and in no small part due to my friends like you guys, healthier, feeling better than ever. I want to keep it that way, like self-improvement a little bit every day. So guys, thank you, because you've all done your part, believe it or not, in helping me down that path. So, and if you want to be like me, talk to Todd, talk to Josh, talk to me, we can help you. In any case, so I know that one of the things that we talk about a lot on this podcast is Warhammer 40K. We've been kind of on a streak of that lately. And one thing that I think we all thought about talking about was like the Emperor and the impression that people have on the Emperor, and how different factions also within the game see the Emperor, which is interesting. So anyone want to go first? I can go. Well, I've got the
I'm supposed to go first because I got the beginning.
And you got that, and yours is the human, right? So of course it's the most important one.
Well, I don't know about that.
It's the only one that matters.
Yeah. So, other than Eldar.
So our story begins in the 7000 BC. At this time, there are a couple different creation myths, but the most popular one is that you had a bunch of the greatest psychers, I believe it was 8 of the greatest psychers in the world, all needed to create this supreme being. And so they basically sacrificed themselves and downloaded or uploaded their consciousness and power into the warp, so that when this child is born, they would know which one, and they would put all of their consciousness into that child, and he would be born a perpetual.
Todd, do you want us to ask questions as you go, or hold them till you're done?
Well, you can, but if it's going to be about stuff that happens in the future, I'm just going to say wait for later.
No, it's about stuff of what you're referring to.
Like, and then also, this is supposed to take place in Mesopotamia.
Right. And my question was, I know that there's some theories that, like, the main theory is the one you have, that the psychers sacrifice themselves in order to kind of create this being or whatever. But is it possible that the Emperor was bamboozling us? Let's talk about that later.
One of the other beliefs is that during the Great War, where I think the Star Eater gods were killed by the Necron, one of their shards fell to Earth. And it basically, just a piece of it, like a scale, turned into a dragon. Okay. And so it's believed that one of the fragments of one of these Saitans, these ancient star-eating gods, became like a lesser god
Okay.
And then it came to Earth and created the Emperor spontaneously, like out of mud or some shit.
Okay.
And that this is supposed to be like the avatar of that god fragment. That's another story is for creation myth.
Interesting. Okay. I did not know that one. That's a cool one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, there's not a lot. There's some disagreements, and that's between 7,000 BC and 300 BC. It's disputed where he did. It sounds like he was in Mesopotamia, Babylon. He could have been Akkad. He could have been Cyrus II. He could have been a lot of people, but he eventually became Alexander the Great. And at this time, it's not really that relevant for about 15,000, 22,000 more years or so. He doesn't really manifest. But what purpose does he serve? We find out later that there's no really good reason why the demons of the warp never came to Earth and started absorbing and possessing people.
Right.
Like they do later about 29,000. So it's believed that the way that this worked was the Emperor used his psychic power to create a shield around the Earth, basically warping the minds of mankind to believe that there is no supernatural, that there is no demons, that there is nothing special. And eventually this manifested all the way to there being no God.
Okay, so would that be kind of like the
from-
idea of the great silence that we have right now? Like that's why we've never heard anything, any aliens, right, or anything
That's
like
kind
that.
of the point is that this disbelief in magic, this disbelief in gods, disbelief is the only protection humanity has from the warp and the demons within it.
Okay.
This had to change later, of course. That, in we take to the stars. Then there was basically the Iron Men War, where there's the machines rise up and the AIs fight us. Then there's the unification. Basically, Earth is reduced to a barbaric wasteland of people that are just killers and criminals. And so he basically makes these Thunder Warriors to help him take over the land. And one of the most vile things that he's ever reputed to do was once the Thunder Warriors are of no more use to him, eliminated them.
Right.
However, it could be postulated that his personal guard, I forget, the Custodes, might be descended more from these Thunder Warriors than they are from the actual Astartes. So I might be wrong about that, but so he gets with this woman, this scientist named Astartes, and starts founding the Space Marines, the geneticists. Now there's Malkador, the Sigillite, has basically found his way into the group at this point. He's a psyker and he's also a perpetual. And I'm skipping over a lot of the plot of the game because I'm sticking just to the Emperor and what he did.
Right. So we had context because, the audience needs to understand there's so much material that Todd could get into here that will never end. Like we'll be talking for a week.
Yeah. So he creates the Space Marines. Basically, he creates the Primarchs from his own DNA and the DNA of animals, and like wings on this dude and spitting venom on that dude and shit like that.
The wings weren't part of the design.
Oh, they weren't?
No.
That's the coolest design.
That's important, then.
Like his ball was so radioactive, or the warp was so dangerous, or his genes interacted. It was one of those things. Like there's mutations all the Primarchs somewhat have. Like I think Gilman doesn't have anything to explain yet, but
but that makes sense.
Lion has like teleportation powers for some freaking reason, like literal teleportation.
Which one is teleportation?
The Lion does now. He didn't.
Okay, yeah.
I heard about that. Walking. It's crazy.
So, I guess what I'm going with this is that he made the Primarchs.
Yep.
Supposedly he had entered the warp and then made a deal with the demons in some sort of way, and then they felt betrayed by this. So they jettisoned all 20 of these babies like Superman into the.
Oh, that was the kid's mother, Miss Erda. She
He's
did that.
the Jor-El to the Kal-Els.
There's another theory that it was Erda or the Astartes woman that did it or something like that.
Oh.
Is Erda and the Astartes woman different?
Yes, Astartes is a human woman, and Erda is another perpetual. Part of her
Oh.
genes are in the Primarchs.
Okay.
This is like new lore that was written into it. I think in the 9th or 10th edition.
It's
Maybe.
funny. Berta was not mentioned in any of the material I looked.
Yeah, she was kind of written in to be killed. Hi, Erebus. Thank you. All right, next.
Oh, really? The Deus Ex plot device. Okay.
Yeah, she was kind of like a write-in. It's kind of okay, whatever. But it makes more sense with less. So
yeah,
you get the Emperor. Anyway,
and by the way, that's why Games Workshop keeps a lot of the dates.
Let's see. There were warp demons on Earth because of how terrible it was before the unification, but he basically made the Custodes immune to the warp, like completely unable to understand it really or interact with it.
Yeah,
something he did with the way he designed it and why it took so long. Mount Ararat is where all of the Thunder Warriors went down. Voldemort, his channel is an amazing Thunder Warriors thing. So far so good though, Todd.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Thank you. And then so he has the Astartes that he has, and he starts basically trying to unify this all of space. That basically people have to go under his Imperial Legion or his empire. He basically is going to have an empire, and if you don't join, he's going to use like the Warhounds, which eventually become the World Eaters, to exterminate you. And that each one of these different legions has its purpose. You know, the Night Lords are there to scare people and keep them in line. The propaganda that the Alpha Legion or whatever it's called. I think it's called Alpha Legion. They're there as like the CIA. So they had functions before the Primarchs were there. And some of the Primarchs, basically the sane ones, once they're reinserted into their Legion, because the Legion was made from their DNA, they kind of jive. The ones that were just driven nuts because of hellish life, then they're basically poison to their Legion. And they make it worse. So at some point he basically feels enough's enough. I'm going to go back to Earth, and he puts Horus, his favorite son, in charge. And then the Horus Heresy happens, which I'm not going to get into because it's not really relevant for the Emperor. He doesn't really do anything until the Siege of Terra, and he gets into a big battle.
No, he kind of does everything during the 7-year war. Like he's literally sitting on the golden throne, holding back an endless swarm of demons. He does eventually get off the throne for a moment and go fight them all, but they're demons that will eternally return. So it's like, what's the point? Oh, Draknir shows up and almost kills him, but that's a story for another time.
And for our audience,
perfect segue because this is the part of the research that I stopped at.
Okay, which is right after the heresy happens, which for people who are new to the game or to this game world and novel world, it's one of the most fundamental events. This is around roughly 30K, right? Roughly
30K, 31.
So this is setting it does two things for Games Workshop. It gives an entire amount of space for the narrative and for different gameplay things to happen, and to be written, different codexes, marine types, etc., whilst laying the groundwork for the 40K piece, which is where we are now. So which is so I guess now is when is it
we're at about 31K right now.
Yeah. And now the Emperor is like a dormant psyker within the throne, right? Basically, like he's being kept alive artificially by the throne.
At the end of the Horus Heresy, after he defeats the Uber God Horus, who has surpassed everything that's ever showed up in the universe, tricks him.
Right. And now he's there.
It's a really good trick. I really like this trick. It was like, oh, he tricked him. I was like, fuck yeah, I had to trick him. You see what he did to Sanguinius? Beat that guy like a dog, beat him dead.
Dog. Yeah, and it's interesting because when you hear how this all developed, it makes you think like, so if he's all seeing, all knowing, whatever, kind of Paul Muad'Dib style, right? How did we end up here? How does that work? Or is this part of a greater plan that we don't see?
That's the debate, right? But
and that's the big debate now, right?
The message he sent to was the only way the throne survives is if you throw the Emperor on it. But the message that was sent through time or understood through time was that they could restore the Emperor if they put him on the throne. But they put his basically lifeless body on the throne, or nearly lifeless body on the throne, and nothing changed except the throne kept working, and he just kept getting executed over and over and over and over again.
So which again lays a very rich, fertile ground to tell stories, to play games, to develop all these things.
And the one that makes me think about is right before he went in warp, he threw away his compassion and his heart of love. So it's flying around the warp called the Star Child, doing things.
Oh, did
By
not
the
know
time we
that
get
either.
to the okay. Another. All right. So who's got after 31K? Is that basically just me and then taking over? Because
That's gonna be you. All I have is the view from the Eldari and the Orks. That's all I
okay.
had.
Yeah,
I
that's
had
fine.
time to
That's
research,
fine.
and
That's
it's
fine.
not a lot. So
Yeah, I don't have a whole bunch because I basically just want to say like, there's a whole bunch of people with different thoughts on the Emperor.
yeah.
Of course, what I want to talk about is there's the Mechanicus, the current Mechanicus Valde. What her perspective is, the Emperor is not the Omnissiah. He's a fraud. The throne is dying, and we're not going to save his ass.
Oh,
So the Mechanicus has planned to overthrow the the Empire after the Emperor dies, of course, because you can't kill him now.
right.
The question is, what are they going to use to beat the Emperor? Well, there's a star god, a Satan star god dragon sitting on Mars somewhere that allegedly the Emperor put there. So we'll see about that. Maybe that's a little. This could happen. Dun dun dun. And then for the Ecclesiarchy, another part of the Lords of Terra, they know he's waking up because they saw what he did to Nurgle's garden, which is burn it, which shouldn't be possible. And then one last person, we didn't really talk about him during 30K because it's kind of hard to talk about everything in 30K.
Yeah.
The leader of the Custodes, the bestest of friends, was Constantine Valdor. He's another person who vanished after the 31K Horus Heresy because, hey, the Emperor got killed, but he's got some mission. Well, guess what? He showed up in 40K. He's living in the unbreakable city that was defended and fought for during 31K. He's got Space Marines with angel wings and many other things, and he seems to be developing a silent sister army as well. So we don't know what's going on there, but that's the end of the Beckman series. We now know the real name of the King in Yellow is Constantine Valdor. So that's the three people I'm aware of. Yeah, it's wild. But it's been 5 years, and we have no freaking clue what's going on to happen next because the guy stopped and wrote the end of the Damned. So it's like,
So that makes me ask a question. You're familiar with the Inari and the Inari within the overall Eldar. Okay, so the Inari, long story short, and I'll make it brief because it kind of dovetails with with all this conversation. So when the Eldar first lost their empire and their greatness, was when Slanesh was born, right?
They murdered.
The birth of Slanesh destroyed, I think, 95% of the Eldari instantly, and the other 5% were wandering around now in their craft worlds and so on. Or if you're Harlequins, you're actually in the webway. Is it the webway? Yeah, you're like running around there. But the Inari cult is a group of Eldar that believe that they can bring forth or have their goddess of death reborn. And by doing this, that would be the way that goddess of death in turn would help them fight and eliminate Slanesh and and allow the Eldar to rise to their quote unquote rightful place in the galaxy. Supposedly. And avoid the doom, because Slanesh right now is waiting to eat the souls of every Eldar that dies, unless they get put in a gem or plugged into that infinity circuit that they have in each craft world. But the question is, and I think this is a question for Games Workshop, they set up an entire storyline with the Inari and all that, but now it's like on a hold. It never had a finish.
The author died.
Oh, is that what that happened? Okay,
yeah,
because I thought it was that maybe it wasn't that popular, and then they changed it.
No matter how popular it was, it's elf stuff, so they don't really care about the Eldar, which is I understand because it's both the whole point is the
focus of the game is the Space Marines, mostly.
No well, yeah, that's what people buy because it's the best, but
that's why you buy it. So anyway, so let me share what I've researched as far as the Emperor and how he's viewed by the Eldari in different, and you have to understand there's different factions, of course, within the Eldari. But here we go. I actually had to write this down, so let's see. So most of the craft world Eldari, and again for the audience, these are the majority of the Eldar that are left live in these artificial platforms, artificial planets almost, or giant spaceships, depends on how you see it, environments that are basically cities in space. And there's different factions and groups within Eldari culture.
A bunch of
different
Death Stars.
Yeah,
Well, or
basically.
Star Killer races, whatever the giant one is now.
But prettier and more aesthetically pleasing because they're Eldar
course,
and they're
the
space
Eldar are
elves.
so
So
beautiful,
anything
yeah.
space elves is going to be pretty and,
Hymnal music plays when they
boundless.
fly by. Yeah, crap.
All the fun stuff. So they regard the Emperor apparently as an immensely potent psyker and warlord who managed to unify humanity in their eyes briefly because they've been around forever.
The Monkai.
Yeah, the Monkai. Because
they're
that's an
super
insult.
racist against us. Fuck the Eldar, by the way.
Oh, yeah, they're super racist. They are. They totally, absolutely are. But the fact that he did that absolutely earned respect from the Eldar. Like, humans rarely impress the Eldar, but here we are, They also, however, see him as blunt and short-sighted in his approach because, again, they're Eldar. It's all about, it takes them forever to do anything. They have that worldview. So from their perspective, he built an empire through conquest and dogma. He underestimated chaos, in their opinion. He tried to suppress religion and mysticism while wielding godlike psychic power himself, which in turn kind of created emperor worship in some cases and so forth. And he accelerated humanity into a galaxy-scale power, but without the wisdom to handle it, much like they did. So they see that from their perspective. So to an ancient species like the Eldari, that's like giving a chainsaw to a toddler, basically. They're like, here you go. Have fun with that. And that's progress. That's kind of like how they see it, Now, there is some harsh irony that they notice, I would think, which is that since the Eldari birthed Slanesh because of their own decadence, because of the blood orgies and eventually, trying to go... It's like the qualities that make them special as Eldar became too much of that, right? And eventually created that. So, they nearly destroyed their civilization when doing that. So they
did
should
destroy the
know,
civilization.
and they did.
Yeah.
They should know what civilization arrogance, for lack of a better term, looks like. So when they look at humanity worshiping the Emperor as a god, many of them would think something like, guys, we've seen this movie before. This is not gonna end well. But of course, humans are not Eldar, and that's the thing. The Eldar are making assumptions because of the way they think, which is, again, they're aliens. It's really important to understand that Games Workshop did a very smart thing in that their Xenos don't think like humans. They think like whatever their species and values are truly, and they're written that way. So that's, super interesting. So now there's some of the famous Eldari that, like pragmatic ones, like there's a leader of them called Eldrad Ulthran, and they recognize him as one of those few beings who truly understands the scale of the chaos threat. The leaders of the Eldar understand that he knows. So, and Eldrad even attempted to warn humanity during the Horus Heresy era, by the way. So he tried to do that. So that suggests that some Eldari at least think that he was flawed but necessary for the development and progress of the entire galaxy, all of it. Xenos and human
when
alike.
there's a crisis for the galaxy, all species are generally alerted. Like when the 13th Black Crusade that splits the galaxy in half is about to start. Even Trazon the Infinite Necron, his alarm bells start going off. Like he has Doctor Who level chimes that go off when everything is about to hit the shit and fan. So.
And then another two thoughts that are out there among the Eldar is that what he was and is still humanity's best chance for survival versus chaos, even now.
Well,
even though, and that his fall could possibly have doomed everyone, not just mankind, because as the Emperor goes, the whole galaxy goes, at least the reality side of it, like the forces against chaos.
Yeah, he drew in powers from the warp to become the Dark King towards the end of the Horus Heresy. He did return those powers, but the fact that he can become a god and destroy everything means that you have to respect him.
You have to be mindful of that.
God.
Right.
And so the Eldars have a couple good perspectives about the Emperor, and then the fact that Guilliman and all the other Primarchs might start becoming gods as well, just based on what they do. And some of their powers are very godlike.
Talk about power creep, right? In a game. There it is.
I mean, it's kind of the thing. The Primarchs have to be godlike, powerful beings to defeat these Space Marines of whatever.
Yeah. Now, let's talk really briefly about the Drukhari, which are the dark elves of the space galaxy milieu, if you will. So Drukhari would mostly probably mock him, hate him, or ignore him. unless he could be exploited, because that's how they think. They're all
Oh.
about like exploitation.
They tried to
And-
clone him.
Yeah.
They tried
Because
to
they
clone
see
the
old
Emperor.
monkey rulers as amusing barbarians with delusions of grandeur. Basically, that's how they see it, because they're super arrogant, species arrogant.
Still arrogant despite destroying most of the galaxy and their universe. Like, we can see doing the same thing. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Please kill them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the Inari that I mentioned before. So the Inari might be a little bit more nuanced, because they operate in an age, it's like the apocalypse for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the way they think that the end is nigh. It's
This
coming.
is Ragnarok, and it's time to bring all the gods out.
And so those guys are actually very likely to cooperate with Imperials. The Inari might be the bridge between the Eldar as a whole and humanity to kind of band together at some point. They might do something.
The Inari
with that
do help
plotline.
revive Gilliman. So
do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Because they may see the Emperor as fading, but still, he is obviously strategically useful still in the war against chaos. I mean, he's still the Emperor, even diminished. He's still a super powerful.
He's more powerful than ever.
Being. Exactly. Just not approachable in a human, real way is the thing. So, yeah, a mighty but tragically limited being who tried to control forces that no one truly controls might be the summary of all that. So, I guess basically a monkey, but not really a monkey. That's about it. And that's all I got as far as the Eldari go. I thought I had the Orc one written down, but I must have misplaced it or something, my notes. So I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, Orcs are just.
But the Orcs are like. Remember, the Orcs are just rage personified. So to them, big war boss guy is cool. He's like somebody that they admire and they hate at the same time, because he's a good rival. But that's the Orc view. All right, you guys got anything else before we talk about other crazy shit? Such as the fact
the Frontier view is just, or the Necron view is just that humanity is just the Necron tiers on repeat. They're just going to do something terrible.
Yeah.
And then that's it for all the people that matter in the 40K.
Yeah. And now with the 11th edition and all the changes, we're going to have to see like what they start emphasizing and what they start developing story-wise, which will be interesting. Come June, we'll have a lot more fun stuff.
We've got Puerto Robo in writing, like not coming back onto the system, but we've got actual pictures of him. He looks awesome. He looks like a giant fuck off machine. He did a great job.
Basically. Yeah. And by the way, meantime, I have 21 models and miniatures that I'm working on right now.
How much did you pay for all of those models? Total price, just a total.
I can't put that on this. My wife might see that. So I'm not gonna say. Let's say though, like a lot of them I did inherit from a friend, so I'm good there.
Okay.
So
over under $5,000.
Oh, way under. I'm cheap,
under
bro.
two. If you got under two, you did a good job. Okay, if you're under two, then you're fine.
No, a couple $100. Like I get my stuff used on eBay, and then because I paint, so I don't care if it's used. I strip them and repaint them, and then they're mine. It doesn't matter.
Oh, just paint over it.
Yeah. And I actually enjoy the painting piece almost as much as the game.
That's
honestly.
good. Yeah. No, I love the paint. Obviously, that's one of my paintings right behind me. So
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's you. You did that?
Oh yeah, I never told anyone. Yeah. So this
I didn't know that.
This was my first commission piece, like 5 or 6 years ago. I'd never painted black and white, so I decided to just retire that black and white on that one. This girl hired me to. She's graduating from nursing school. She hired me to do it. I was like, "You've seen my paintings. I don't do anything black and white." But she's mixed. She's like, "Well, these are the colors I want." So I'm like, "All right, well,
nice. Okay, well that
came out of my brain. I don't know how, and I'm like, "Well, I'm going to go ahead and retire on that."
Leaving a high note. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I have her up. She's beautiful. Yeah. And Mike told me, why don't you just put her on one of these things? I was like, you're right. That's awesome. Mike Horner Project. Yeah.
So the only thing that I've got going is so I've noticed there's nothing to watch on TV nerdy lately that attracts me. I heard that they are going to release the season 3 of The Rings of Power that nobody cares about next year. Who gives a crap?
I don't even watch how bad it is because it's so stupid. I just don't even care.
Do they still have those hobbits that they can't call hobbits?
Yeah,
the Hardfoots.
Wow, I couldn't. I hated everything about that show, but I actually would fast forward through those scenes.
They were cannibals.
That show.
I fast forward through that shit. I can't stand
when I saw that
cute
show,
shit for kids. Fuck cute shit for kids.
Dude, Todd, I literally when I first saw that show because I got into it way too late, and I would hate watch it with my friends. The first season.
But yeah, it was terrible. So
there's an epic stream of consciousness group chat that I had as I was watching, my impressions. I'll send it to you sometime if you want to. It'll be a laugh. But I will say this. I remember distinctly saying after watching the first season and pieces of the second, Todd's gonna fucking hate this show. I remember like
Right. I just want to make
very
sure
distinctly.
we agree that everything from our childhood has been destroyed at this point, except for like Twin Peaks and like Sonic the Hedgehog. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, TV is
That's
turning
weird that
into
you brought up Twin
Babylon
Peaks.
5, but they haven't remade it.
Yeah.
And hopefully
Yeah.
they never fucking will. You know what I mean? I'm like, Babylon 5 fans, shut the fuck up. They haven't ruined it yet. Leave it alone.
Yeah, Babylon 5 doesn't need anything.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
Take it from the Star Wars, Star Trek, Predator, Aliens, all the fans of sci-fi. It's terrible now. Run away.
The only good reimagining I've ever seen is Battlestar Galactica. That's the only one. And that's
funny
because
you guys brought that up. Is like
Yeah.
with all of our technology, they've ruined sci-fi, but horror and fantasy is at an all-time best.
That's hilarious because as our universe has gotten more technologically advanced, we care less about the technology fun stuff. It's more like, show me magic, damn it. I'm like, bro, we have electricity in the fucking walls. Like, we don't give a shit about electric spells anymore. Like, why do we care about electric spells? Fuck off.
Yeah, that's so very true. And the other thing is like the way like these shows and movies are being produced with the changing of platform. I'll give you an example. Just today, I was like, are we gonna go watch, because my son is a huge Star Wars fan, more so than me. So he's all about the Mandalorian movie that's coming out. You know, this is Chandler. And I'm not. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, but I can tell that this is just a very long TV episode that they put on screen.
I was at the theaters today. I just literally just put as soon as I saw like they're gonna play Star Wars stuff, I put my headphones on.
Yeah, because it's dead, bro. It's dead. Kathleen Kennedy killed it. She killed it. The Acolyte fucking killed it. I mean, even that second season.
Everybody tells me Andor was good. I've never seen Andor.
Andor was great. Andor is the reason why people should know that the Star Wars universe is viable if you get the right creative people that love it to create.
Yeah,
like, they made it like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Andor was the only show that was like Star Wars.
Tell me how it was like Star Wars. That's what I need to know specifically, because
All right. When you watch the way the Imperial functioned, it had a 1970s British accent with Nazi German efficiency.
Yes.
That everything was done cinematically. And it was like it was like a film. The shots were like a film. Look, think about the difference between the Lord of the Rings, the shots in the Lord of the Rings, and the shit cinematography from the Rings of Power. That's the difference between Andor cinematography and all of the woke bullshit stuff that they've been punching out. It's nothing like The Mandalorian, which is a Western comedy, buddy cop movie, because it's a gimmick on a gimmick on a gimmick, which is not what Andor is. Andor is like a political intrigue thriller set in
the Star Wars universe.
In the pre-Episode 4 Star Wars universe.
And the thing with Andor that they did is they created characters that are three-dimensional, that are believable, that are well acted. The dialogue is on point, and everything, you sense that the stakes are truly important in Andor. Like everything is like, if things go wrong, they're gonna go really wrong. People are gonna die, like for real. Like there's a sense of because with a lot of the Jedi focused stuff that came Disney, there's a sense of like, oh, no matter what, the good guys are gonna win. I never felt like, oh, at some point.
Well, let me get a preliminary question in on Andor. Is Andor basically these people are trapped on a prison? Basically, they're prisoners and they're trapped on whatever.
No, it's
a tiny faction of that. Andor is the birth of the rebellion.
Exactly.
Okay.
Before the Andor show, there was no rebellion.
Oh,
it was just the peak of Imperial control.
I thought it was like a planet that didn't know that the Empire had lost, and the people in charge of it were just still running it like the Empire was still going on. Okay, no, nothing like that.
No.
Actually,
even though there's plenty of those.
4. Do you remember the Bothan spies that died in Rogue One? Andor is the prelude to Rogue One. Because in Episode 4, Mon Mothma says, several Bothan spies died getting these plans. That's the plot of Rogue One, is the Bothan spies, right? But the original spy network that the Bothan spies come from that started the rebellion, that really is what Andor is.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that's
Andor it manages to hit so many things at once. It puts the stakes on the table between the Empire and the Rebellion.
Yeah.
They give a real reason why think about it.
some
Rebel
people want
are
the
like,
Empire, some people don't. Yeah.
and why they're fighting a desperate guerrilla type war. Why is it that they're so desperate? Why is it that they're on the run in episode 4? Why is it that it's so hard? It's like Andor explains all that.
Oh, I
Like,
did want to say the Mandalorian had a Bill Burr character. That guy was an
He did,
amazing
yeah.
actor.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was amazing to watch. His
Yeah.
scenes, but I didn't see most of
He
the
was
show.
good. He was good in that.
It was season 2.
Bill Burr. Yeah.
Season 2
I
for
think,
sure. I
right?
think he had like a whatever in season 1.
Yeah, he
were
was,
everything, and
Miggs,
then
I think was
when they
his
brought him
name.
back in season 2, those scenes were amazing.
It was either Miles or Miggs. I
Like
forget
if
his
you haven't
name,
seen
but
it, yeah, Miggs or something. But yeah, if you YouTube that Bill Burr on Star Wars, and like his character was crazy cool.
yeah.
I'll
And
just rewatch Mandalorian.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you
I mean,
can.
that's
the
that's a
first
good
season was
show.
great,
No, it was not. First season falls apart immediately because remember when his ship gets stolen?
but it's entertaining though. So
his ship gets stolen, but apparently he could have just locked his ship and then nothing in the galaxy could open it. Fuck you just wasted a whole episode of my life. And then like at the end when like the Empire people bring in everything to try to get the boy, I'm like, well, why didn't they do that in episode 1 if he was so fucking important? End of the show.
I mean, if you talk about plot holes, there's a million of them. We can
Yeah, it
drive a
was driving
semi
me
through them.
nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
have to understand that it's a different type of art. That
Yeah.
this is a buddy cop
Yeah.
Western
Yeah.
set in the Star Wars universe to get parents to enjoy something that they watch with their kids.
Yes.
That's not what Andor is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andor is a grown-up
like
show.
what Solo could have been.
Yeah, Andor is 100% mature audiences that can follow and actually think of a plot
Mhm.
and understand the nuance, because some of the acting in Andor is like top tier. Like the
It was
who's
look, there was never a problem getting good actors for Star Wars. It was
yeah.
always a writing problem.
That's
Like,
right.
I hated the fucking Phantom Menace and all that other shit. I hated Star Wars my whole life. So that fact that it sucks even more, it's fine with me. Fuck them.
Oh man, see,
Oh wow.
see you didn't
So you're
see.
too young to
Young.
like Star Wars.
To have loved Star Wars like you guys did. Like when I went to the theaters, like after that second one, I left the theater pissed. This shit is terrible. Why are we watching it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those episodes 1, 2 were terrible.
Yeah.
That the good episodes in order are 5, 6, 3, 4, 1, 2.
I do,
5,
but I
7,
love
8,
the
9.
Revenge of the Sith. And honestly, there's a great film in those 3 films, but someone's
Yeah.
got to cut it together. But no,
Yeah,
it was
so my
Well, you
favorite.
could just start the series with Revenge of the Sith. Watch
you-
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of
Or
the Sith
if
is
you're
what-
a kid,
yeah,
start
4,
with the
5, 6.
Clone Wars. Watch
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
Yeah,
That's
Which
where
Clone
the
Wars?
Clone Wars was amazing.
Which
All
one?
7
Yeah.
seasons.
Well,
yeah,
that's the thing.
the
There
animated
was the
show.
Clone Wars that had like a canon, like 2 seasons, and then they rewrote them, and then they made like a anime.
No,
thing.
they're
So
all.
it's
I
so
think
weird.
they're all
No.
canon. They're all
No,
No,
canon.
they're
there's 2
all
sets.
6 seasons.
Trust it from someone who's a nerd on this one topic. Like, yeah, there's like an original version of the Clone Wars that was like cartoons, and it was like 2 seasons maybe, and then
Right.
there's a CGI that everybody remembers now because kind of overwrote everything. It was like a retcon, but still good.
Right.
I think.
Well, I mean, they did in
Anyway,
the animated
yeah, I
show.
think
I
that-
mean,
The Clone Wars was good,
Mhm.
and it sets up episode 3.
The writing was probably
And then
bad, but it was
episode
definitely
3
good.
is fucking amazing.
I
Wall
liked
to
it.
wall perfection.
Yeah.
And then 5 is one up there with The Godfather as one of the greatest movies of all time.
that's
you're
my
not gonna
favorite
observe.
Star Wars
Pure
of all. By the
work
way,
of art.
a single work that is my favorite of all.
Yeah,
That one,
and
and
anybody was to be introduced to Star Wars and hate Star Wars,
Mhm.
you sit them down and you
With that,
paralyze them and you make them watch 5.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they will love Star Wars if they just watch 5 from start to finish.
Mhm.
and I remember watching that. I was
Sort
probably
of.
let's see, that came out in 1980, right? So I was
1981.
81. So
No,
I was
no,
10,
you're right.
10
It was
years
a
old.
1980.
was like
It was 1980.
2001, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I was 10 years old when I saw it in the theaters. And let me tell you, that movie hit like nothing else when you're a kid. Because you
saw
have all
Return
the
of the
buildup
Jedi in
from
the
the
theaters.
original, from 4,
cool.
right?
I can
And
see
that
that.
whole
Like, if
I
saw
am
that-
your
if you saw
father
these in the
shit.
movie theaters as a kid, like, yeah, that'd be awesome. But no, the only thing I saw in the theaters, I'm sure I saw the ones in the theaters eventually, but like, yeah, no.
So you saw Phantom Menace
my
is what
Star
you
Wars,
saw.
and Phantom Menace was shit. The next
Phantom
one
Menace
even
was
worse.
plot. It
Yeah.
was a political plot setting up the rise of the empire. There's
Agreed.
no way a woman, a child, or a man under 30 would have followed that movie.
Yeah.
And there was so glad you can go back and rewatch it. It makes
Yeah,
total
yeah.
sense. But
Yeah.
the first time through, you're not going to get everything that's going on. It's too complicated.
Yep.
Darth Maul looked cool. That's, I mean, for sure. But yeah, it was like a whole bunch of crap in that
It's
movie.
just Jar Jar Binks ruined the movie because they put him in there for kids. And it's like, stop ruining shit to appeal to kids.
Well, to be
Kids
fair.
like laser guns and wizards
Yeah,
and
they're like
shit.
adult
You don't
shit
have
they
to
can
put some
enjoy.
goofy fucking flipper boy in there.
I mean, Star Wars 1 had an amputation with a lightsaber.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You mean Star Wars 4?
Well,
No, that was 5. Well, in 5.
4 was
in 4 is
Dr.
the
Esteban
scene in the
was
cantina.
the first one.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he
true.
doesn't like you. I don't like you
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, those fuckers.
Yeah. It's Dr. Esteban was, I think, the name of the guy.
You probably know the names of the things, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go through for the role-playing game and
okay.
read every single character's race and memorize all the racial characteristics of each race.
Yeah.
So that
So you can be racist?
Huh?
So you can be appropriate racist to the
well, no, because each race has different powers, like in any other role-playing game. Speaking of which, I came up with a D&D class that I think a lot of women would like. It's called Victim. It's like you hit like level 3 and you start you get a cat companion, and then basically level 4 is that once per hour you have to talk about your trauma, otherwise you take damage. And then like level 5 is you gain 30 pounds, and then like level 6 is you get another cat.
This is terrible.
I feel like this is Todd's life and he's just projecting it onto women.
There might be something going on here.
No, but it's like,
that was the truth, Todd. How many cats do you have now?
I have no cats. But you never notice that, like, what people start telling you about their trauma, and it's like, this isn't gonna make me like you more.
Right.
This isn't gonna make me respect you more that you were a victim.
Yeah, this is me writing this down. This person doesn't protect himself enough. Let me get away from them as soon as possible.
Yeah. It's kind of like you're basically a poor me. You manipulate people by telling them about your problems so they pity you, and so they cut you slack, and that's their manipulation tactic.
Yeah.
Is they play victim, and you're supposed to drop what you're doing to rescue them. But if you just let them drown, then they just turn to the next person and they throw up the life draft.
But that's why I'm glad I'm like on the spectrum, because it's definitely helped me avoid caring or feeling certain things. It just kind of go to the wall and right through it. Like, I don't, people like her begging for money in the street. It doesn't even register. It's just like,
gotcha. See,
I have to intentionally
I'm a sucker
turn
for that shit because I'm empathic. So I get suckered into it every time.
Right. That's their weapon.
I mean, I'm great with like little kids and helping them, but like with like adults that like need help, I'm like,
well, little
like
kids
you got a problem, right? Later on.
Well, little kids are entitled to need help. They're not
because
functional people.
They're kids. They're learning. They're still learning. They don't know. So,
and I also would, it's like obviously the impulse is to help every woman you see. That's why they, that's why they put the woman out by the car and pretend that she's stranded. So you pull over, and then her boyfriend runs up and shoots you, and they get in your car and drive away.
You can tell Todd and I have lived in large cities because we've heard these fucking scams before.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that sounds like a drive-by carjacking scenario.
I've never been involved in any drive-bys on purpose.
Yeah, dude. I don't like pull over and help people. I'll get killed. I don't,
because you never know. You literally never know nowadays.
And
that's for
I've
sure.
done that where I saw just a woman and there's no one else, and there's nowhere for anyone else to hide or something.
Just call 911 and they'll send a trooper over. Like that's basically it.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that because she could have drugs in the car. I don't want to get her busted.
Yeah.
Generally, the cops are looking for drugs in the car if they're trying to help you.
Yeah. Well,
I've had them do that before.
Oh,
really?
You definitely have bad interactions with them, but
it's like
bad. So, other things. So, speaking of the Mando and Grogu, you guys know it's tracking to be the worst opening ever. Like, I think that franchise.
You mean the worst shit ever on Sci-Fi is going to have the worst fucking opening ever in Sci-Fi?
But
that's not a fucking
that brand
surprise.
used to be so strong that they could guarantee some money, at least some return.
Bob
on investment.
Ross has been dead 30 years, and that's how long Star Wars has sucked in my life. I was under 200 pounds the last time Star Wars didn't suck in my life.
You were alive for Rogue One, and Rogue One was fucking amazing.
I would watch Rogue One because everything was so shit.
What about Solo? Solo was good.
Nobody wants Solo.
Solo was fun. Solo was fun.
So, like, here's the thing, dude. George Lucas still had the rights to Rogue One and Solo. Disney didn't.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
See, it does matter. They're not Disney.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
they're not Disney.
To jump in and be like, oh, great, this wasn't all Disney. Because, like, check it out. So they did that with Star Trek. They had a, quote, good season 3, but it's mostly just Picard season 3 fan wank. So, like, I don't really want any fan wank, and I don't need it for Star Wars, because Star Wars always sucked for me.
But Picard had The third season was all right, though, right?
No, it
I
was
mean,
terrible.
I've
Like,
just
it
never
was
heard.
it was literally like, okay, if you wanted to see them all together, like, you know how Star Wars didn't show all of the, like, episode 4, 5, 6 together in one
right,
scene
right.
fucking ever while everyone was alive? Because, that's so fucking hard to pull off.
Wait,
We did get that. Oh, you know how,
Wait,
like,
what?
Leia died and Han, Leia, all the robots, all those fuckers should have been in a scene together. All of them. Together in one scene, just once, while everybody was alive. And Disney did not land that scene anywhere. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
well,
Yeah.
because they
I
totally
want to see Han
wasted the
talk to fucking Lando one last time before you're going to cut his fucking head off. You know what I mean?
well, they wasted the characters, right, in order
Yeah.
to try and set up these new characters.
one.
They
Yeah,
had an
yeah.
It was
opportunity to do something
terrible.
good,
It
and they
was
didn't.
so terrible.
Yeah,
It's just like, it's so terrible. They were better actors than the people that they were replaced by.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, like, in
They
the
were so believable.
in
And
the
then,
in
like,
in the sequels, you can see like a total lack of understanding of the characters. Like Luke in Last Jedi makes no fucking sense.
Mark
He
Hamill's
makes
so
no
pissed about it.
sense.
He's
The
so
dude
pissed about it.
finally he finished the hero's journey.
He was
He's
a
a
smart ass the
Jedi
whole time,
master.
though. I liked his interviews before that show. It's the longest one.
Is it?
That's what he said. Like, he was very
Oh,
sarcastic at the Last Jedi, like, part of
yeah,
stuff. If you go back and watch those shit, it's really funny. This is the longest Star Wars movie ever.
yeah. But
And
they
some of the
missed it.
scenes they cut out with
Whoever
him
wrote that,
were amazing.
like, why would Luke Skywalker be bitter and angry when he finally achieves
Oh, there was some
balance and
child molestation angles that were very fucking, put into their thing. Oh, somebody wants to stick his lightsaber in his nephew.
wait,
Mm.
what?
Wait, what? Who
Oh,
said
okay.
that?
Me, I say that. I say they wanted to do some weird child molestation thing, but they couldn't do it, so they just like alluded to it.
No way. Nah.
These are terrible
Okay, like,
people.
first of all,
These are
all
terrible
of this was a clusterfuck
Mhm.
because the Jedi Academy trilogy was much better. They actually had Luke have the Jedi Academy on the Misasi temples
Well, that would
on
make sense.
Yavin 4, and he had two nephews and his niece. There
Yeah.
was Anakin was the youngest, and he had
Right.
all the skills with robots.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's before episode 1 ever came out. They stole Anakin from the future, Leia and Han's kid, and then created the Anakin Skywalker character.
Right.
But really, it was Jaden and Jason,
Yes.
and they were the twins
The
of
twins. That's
Han
right.
and Leia.
Mhm.
And then they had a little brother, Anakin, whose his force manifested as being able to control machines, so he could build droids as a baby.
And he
So they
eventually
had-
he eventually fell to the dark side too.
Hold on. So I'm trying to talk about this. All
Oh,
right.
okay.
I don't ever jump ahead because that's completely rude because you're talking about a
Okay.
different book.
Yeah, you're
All
right.
right.
for it.
So that they're in this temple and Luke is their teacher, and they found the cloud planet of Bespin. There was someone who was force positive but not trained.
Hmm.
They're not a Jedi. They're not part of the religion
Hmm.
and the knightly order, but they still have force
Right.
positivity. So they're able to collect that person. So they went through the galaxy and they got all these force positive kids. And so there's 3 trilogies. It was episodes. It was 10, 11, and 12 were the Jedi Academy trilogy. And that was one of the best trilogies. And none of this shit happened. So they took that idea, they condensed all 3 kids into one character,
It makes no sense.
and then they basically had it go to shit, and he turns to the dark side.
Right.
And then he's supposed to be basically Rey's enemy. And
Yeah.
Rey is supposed to just be a soft reboot of A New Hope. And that's what 7 was supposed to be.
Yeah. But again, so many missed opportunities. Finn could have been developed as a really cool character. He could have been revealed to be force sensitive too, say. Maybe. There's just so many missed opportunities where they just
Or not, and he could have just been like Han or something. But yeah, no, the original whatever 3 were good, but the ones I saw as a kid were terrible. And the ones that come out later were terrible.
I mean but again, misunderstanding of the characters and not having a cohesive plot, like kind of threading the 3
Yeah, they had no
sequels.
story.
It was
had
no
nothing.
trilogy. It
Yeah.
wasn't a trilogy. It was 3 movies written by 3 different people.
Exactly.
And they all sucked.
And Ryan Johnson or whoever did Last Jedi, it's almost like he took all the toys that JJ left him, even though it wasn't a good movie, but at least he had some stuff that he could have worked with. And he said, fuck it, I hate it.
Well, to be fair, he's right. Like the mystery box shit is stupid, but yeah, there definitely was stuff to work with. He just chose not to.
But there
use
could have
any
been
of it.
so many angles. The Heir to the Throne series of the books, that would have been a great starting point.
Are
Get
you
some stuff
talking
from
about
there.
You're talking about the Timothy Zahn trilogy?
Correct.
Thrawn
Where
stuff.
with the Issa Lamiri, that was basically stopping.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you got Grand Admiral Thrawn was a great villain.
Yeah.
And then they fucked it up. They basically made him some nobody in Ahsoka.
He's
and
so
they
fat.
Cast him terrible. I was going to say that. He was
He's so
old,
fat. I'm sorry.
fat,
I shouldn't say that because I'm very
voice.
fat, but like he just looks like an overweight fucking bureaucrat that was a piece of shit. And the whole thing about him on the anime was he was a fucking physical fitness marvel.
Yeah,
so what the
he was
fuck is that?
basically Mr. Sinister Star Wars edition.
Yeah. I mean, and he was supposed to be a genius level tactician, strategist, cold as fuck, and ruthless and efficient.
Yeah.
And they got none of that in Ahsoka.
He should have been ruthless cool.
Yeah. They had Ray Stevenson in the fucking episodes, but they didn't cast him as Thrawn.
That would have been better.
Cool. Oh,
I always thought of Thrawn.
I love Ray Stevenson as an actor. I've always loved all of his characters. He was great in Dexter. He was the best Punisher, at least before season 1 of Punisher, for sure.
Right.
And I even liked the 1980s Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, just because at least he killed people, you know?
Right.
That Thomas Jane Punisher was like PG-13. I'm like,
no.
What the fuck are you doing?
No. The Thomas Jane Punisher was worthless.
He could have been look, the laundry scene that he did was good, but he could have been.
Not that there's something wrong with Thomas Jane.
No.
Right. No, he can act. He can act.
It's just
for
like
sure.
nobody beat Ray Stevenson at playing Frank Castle.
They can't be
that. Johnny Barenthal made it his own character. And he actually breathed dimension and depth into the character, but that's not what the Punisher was. The Punisher was pretty one-dimensional. He's just this hollowed out man that has nothing but he's like vengeance. He's almost like the living version of Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so the Punisher came in originally, first of all, he was a villain in the comic books, in Daredevil, when he first appeared. I think it was Daredevil or Spider-Man.
All three of them were.
Probably
all three of the whatever the Avengers, my three favorite characters were Wolverine,
well, first of all, they're all villains.
Ghost Rider, and Punisher.
They're all,
and they were there's some type of Avengers that they were like the I don't know if it's Dark Avengers but they were some other type of Avengers. But
Midnight Suns.
It was Midnight Suns are amazing. I do like them. Sorry, go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, but like they were all villains because Wolverine was a villain in Hulk 187.
Yeah,
Punisher was in Daredevil.
Well, hang on. Hang on. Wolverine was a government agent, so he wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, but he wasn't a hero. He wasn't
definitely like chaotic evil, right? We would say chaotic evil.
Right. No, he was.
Wolverine is chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Crazy person.
All right.
Basically,
I would say Punisher is lawful evil.
Yeah,
and I would say Ghost Rider's lawful evil.
See, and I would have put the Punisher in lawful neutral myself.
See, I feel bad mentioning some of these like demons on the human scale. You know what I mean?
Rewatch Punisher Warzone with Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, that version is
he's lawful. That's the real.
He's
Punisher.
nihilistic as fuck.
All is like chaotic good.
Yeah.
He's
they ruined the Punisher in the season 2 of the Punisher
Daredevil
for Daredevil.
Oh no, that one, yeah.
Oh no, just for Punisher season 2, and he's even worse than the Daredevil shit. Like I don't watch that shit. No,
yeah, they made him just like kind of the sad old man.
Like, no,
Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Maybe you can't bring a character like Punisher from the '90s to now, but they seem to bring every fucking thing else back from the '90s. All the music is now back. All of the whatever grunge look is now back. Like, so yeah.
I can't believe they made the Punisher emo.
Yeah. We should see what they did to him in comics, man. They brought his wife back to tell him he's a terrible person and take all of his money and leave.
Seriously?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, how did she survive? Isn't that like the whole?
I mean, they got rid of the Punisher like 10 or 12 years ago because of you can't sell the comics; he's just killing people. So they brought his wife back from the dead. She came back. She's like, "You're a terrible person." Takes all the money he stole from the mob and like basically leaves him destitute. And he just kind of
never even knew of that.
Yeah. Just the comic books are much worse than everything else, but there's some independent stuff you can watch with it.
No, that's just crazy.
Yeah, they pretty much did away with that character. The Marvel retired the symbol when they found out law enforcement adopted it.
Yeah. But it is a cool
then they worked that into that episode of Born Again where they have the cops are wearing the Punisher symbol and murdering people. So like it's like they just stole the concept away.
Let's hammer that point home. Like just with zero subtlety is what they're doing. It's part of like
present day politics into your stuff is like bad. You need to put politics that make sense to the show.
So there's a film critic I watch here on YouTube called is he the Critical Drinker,
I
maybe?
love that guy.
Critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
But
awesome.
his whole thing is like, and he's right. That is a perfect example of the message.
Yeah.
You know, because he's right. There's definitely some kind of weird agenda that just weaves itself into every freaking product lately that comes out of Hollywood that gets
now Mortal Kombat 2,
shot
that
out
shit
of
was awesome.
somebody's asshole.
I love that
You know?
it's one person
Mhm.
that's his persona is an angry drunk Scotsman.
Yeah,
Like is
He's
able
great.
to destroy all of Hollywood's illusions.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would love to
And
have that guy
expose them
here.
for the hypocrite, pandering ass clowns that they are.
Yeah. Like
Dude.
the Critical Drinker is a well published author. Like
Yeah.
he's Will
He
Jordan.
is?
He's got like he's got like
he
12
does
books.
thrillers. He does like
thriller
thrillers.
shit. He's he knows how to write shit, and he knows to let people like have a little bit of leeway here and there. So he's
Yep.
very, very good. Like he's got like 12 books. Will Jordan is his writing name. And yeah, he when he came out, like I was following him for a long time, but like when he finally came out with stuff, like he had to hide all of his kids and his wife and everything from, the internet shit. He's like, oh fuck, let me
Yeah, that I would kill to have
and
that
Will
guy
Jordan
here
might not
on
even
the
be his
show.
real name. It might just be his pen
No,
name.
it's his pen name for sure.
Yeah, and then he's
None
like,
of them,
he's even different.
just
name,
like Richard Bachman with Stephen King's.
Ron J.K. Rowling. I mean, they're pretty much,
Yeah, but if I will. I know I reached out one time to see if he would respond. Never did. Critical Drinker, if you happen to somehow stumble in the algorithm into this show, we would love to have you on. Like that
Right.
dude
Oh my
would
God,
be
I can't
hilarious.
imagine
dude's
having something that important.
Yeah, he's fucking amazing. He's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And he would.
Did anybody
And
see
he would
Mortal
eviscerate so
Kombat
many
2 yet?
movies. So what?
Anybody see Mortal Kombat 2 yet?
I haven't, but I heard that it was not bad though. That it was like
That's
all
a big
right.
thumbs up for fun. It's exactly the fun, campy fun that you want.
So light and fun. A good
Everyone you
time
want
at
to
the
die
theater.
dies. Everyone that you want to come back comes back.
Okay.
And there's more
Fair
happening
enough.
later. Yeah. No.
Wait, what are we
definitely
talking about?
Mortal Kombat 2, the movie?
2.
Oh,
Have you seen part 1?
Bother.
Dude, have you seen part 1?
Wasn't that where they had like the Sub-Zero was the main plot line?
Scorpion
was the main
several
plot line.
lines. There was too many plot lines. They narrowed them down.
Yeah.
Everything you don't like about part 1, they fix. They did fix it. It's great. I would say just skip part 1 if you didn't see it and just watch part 2. You'll catch on.
Wow.
I mean, it's a
It was
video game
actually
movie,
a good movie.
Fuck, dude, I loved it. I was like, damn, I need to come back. I was
Do you
thinking
remember
about it.
Street Fighter with Raul Julia
Yes.
first
and
of all,
Van Damme?
Yeah.
I did like the acting of that movie.
Yeah.
Why they took the fighting out and made it an army movie, I don't know. I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison so hard that the next Bison wannabe is going to feel it. Or how about whenever Chun-Li tells her whole story about, you killed my father on the way out to the vision. I'm sorry, I don't remember it.
So,
For
by the way,
Bison, it was Tuesday.
trivia. Raul Julia graduated from my high school. in
Wow,
Puerto Rico.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
100%. He was the most
I
famous alumni in that school, for sure.
Well, he's the most
For
famous
sure.
one of most schools, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
He
no,
was. He
there's
was
a
the
great
bomb.
story behind that because he was dying of stomach cancer. And
Yeah.
the reason he did that job is because his son loved Street Fighter. He's like, well, I'm going to make this fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So you can see, like, he's got a giant suit on because he's basically, well, he's cancer lean, of course, because he's
Right.
dying of stomach cancer.
Right.
Jeez.
Wow.
But yeah.
But yeah, he was amazing, man. He did Gomez to the hilt.
Oh, I
The
loved him as
dude,
an
he
actor.
was a classically trained Shakespearean stage actor too. That's the other thing that people don't know. Most people
Ooh.
don't realize is that he cut his teeth like on stage, which
You get
is
a lot
so
of
hard.
you get a lot of practice with acting if you do.
I like that
Oh,
he
yeah.
made Gomez Adams Hispanic.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Like, and then ever after
Oh,
the
yeah.
Adams were Hispanic.
yeah, yeah. He
You know,
did.
it's like
He
he
single-handedly
was so
changed the whole
good,
thing. Yeah,
He
Wasn't he
changed the race of the show 20 years afterward.
He was ahead of the curve, wasn't he, right?
yeah.
he was right,
And
yeah.
they didn't even have to like write it in or do it. Just let a good actor do his thing. You know,
Yeah.
that's all it is. Unleash a good actor. Just unleash him, man. That's what they do. If they're good, if they're really, really for real good. So anyway, so guys, today it's me that has to kind of bolt a
That's
little
all
bit earlier, but as always, a fun time. And yeah, let's do it again next week.
Oh, you guys should see
And
more
I just
Kombat
want
too.
to
We're talking about
clarify
that.
2 things.
Oh, go ahead.
One, I wasn't saying all women are victims. I'm saying it's a class
Yeah,
in
let's.
D&D that it would be funny if a
Every
woman
guy's gonna
played.
play that victim class.
Right.
It's gonna be fucking
All right.
hilarious.
All right. And then
Yeah.
2, I wasn't saying you were rude to me. I was saying it's rude to let the audience know what happens
Yeah,
in the future with that character if they're
That's
just
fair.
being introduced to where the character's introduced, which is that
That's-
trilogy.
that is very fair and very, very
Okay.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is fair. Yes, these are our disclaimers for this episode.
I wasn't
Like,
saying
everything
you
in
were
this
being
show-
rude.
Yeah,
to me.
everything in this show, guys, is lighthearted and fun. Like, nothing is ever meant here in any kind of serious way to harm or insult anybody. It's absolutely lighthearted fun.
Yeah, I hope so,
Just
right,
3
yeah.
nerds talking nerdy shit. That's all
I'm
it
just
is.
not socially adept to perceive how I will be received from every possible way until after I've already opened my mouth.
Oh, okay.
And then I realized, oh, this is how that could have been received. I have to caveat that.
Yeah,
But it
you're
took
okay.
about an hour to do so.
Right. No, you're fine. No.
No, you're good, man. You're always good. So, all right, guys, then have an awesome evening. To everybody out there, send us questions. We're having a good time just doing this every week.
Live long and
Have fun.
prosper.
Bye-bye,
All
y'all.
right, cool. See you guys.
All right.
Dude, Josh, I got a question for you.